My name is Vanessa Tejas, and I will be speaking about parenthood and raising children. For men as well as women, gay as well as straight, parenthood is an extremely meaningful aspect of personal identity. However, children can also be an emotional and financial stress. Dana, Luke, and Herman concluded that childbearing decision is very significant in a woman's time and personal resources, and if accepted, may alter the direction of a woman's life. There are many factors for parents to decide whether to parent or not. Couples may consider the rewards and costs to having children. For example, having children is costly. In 2013, for a middle-income family, the average cost of raising a child to age 18 was $245,000, not including college expenses. Another factor would be couple happiness. Numerous studies have proven that parents experience more stressors than non-parents. Therefore, people have decided to refrain from having more than one child or children in general. Adopting is another factor to decide. Although rates have declined, most couples who decide to adopt are married. Infertility treatment is another option to becoming a parent. Technology has made it possible for those who are unable to have children to create children. Engaging in non-marital births. Today, 60% find doing so morally acceptable. However, majority of cohabitors plan to marry their couple. Many couples, although already living together and have a family, still wish to get married. Many people find cohabitation completely fine and normal. There is then also a factor of early parenthood versus later parenthood. In early parenthood, some couples decide to parent early due to greater freedom to pursue other activities after the children are raised. However, it may also result in postponing their education and a later start to their career. When deciding to parent at a later time, there is more time for personal development. However, women must consider that fertility does decline with age. To the left is a picture of young 16-year-old moms versus, to the right, much older women. Having only one child. Deciding how many children to have is a big factor as well to parents. The number of one-child families continues a steady increase, making up about 20% of American families. Only children are found to be more intelligent, mature, with more leadership skills, and better health and life satisfaction, both as children and as adults. However, some disadvantages include lack of opportunity to experience sibling relationships in childhood and as adults. Child spacing is another factor to consider. Some parents may decide to have one child after another, however, some may decide to have gaps in between. Lamanna, Redman, and Stewart mentioned that when having children closer in age, parents experience more stress, and when they have them more spaced out, they are able to enjoy both children with not as much stress. Trends in parenthood today. Abortion, a surgically or pharmaceutically caused expulsion of a fertilized fetus or embryo from the uterus, is popular today. Although it has been around for some time, more abortions take place within the first 19 weeks, which is much earlier than the past. Some reasons for abortion include concern for or responsibility to another individual. Having a child would interfere with the woman's education, work, or ability to care for dependents. Not being able to afford a baby at the time. Not wishing to be a single mother or having relationship problems. The woman or couple had completed childbearing, and the woman or couple were not ready. About 7% of all children in the U.S. are adopted, mainly from married couples. Adoption has declined since the 1970s. There are two types of adoption. One is private adoption, which is an agreement between mother and adoptive parents, and second is a public adoption, which is through a licensed agency. According to the National Survey of Family Growth, 6.72 million women are infertile, meaning they are unable to bear a child. This is when adoption comes into play. They are able to adopt children and care for them as their own. Another option would be art, that is, assisted reproductive technology. It has become an accepted reproductive option. Art is the process of several eggs being fertilized, and only one or sometimes two or three zygotes are allowed to develop. In addition to this, commercialization of reproduction is happening more often, that is, selling sperm or eggs. There are many advantages to parenting in the 21st century. Parents are more educated and are more likely to have acknowledgement about child development and child raising techniques. For example, technology. Cell phones and social media allow children, parents, and family members to keep in contact and stay in touch wherever they are. Today, fewer children are exposed to violent crimes than 20 years ago. In addition to technology, the internet offers information for parents dealing with just about any situation. Dramatic advances in contraceptive technology have offered women control over their reproductive decision-making. However, men still do not have a contraceptive. An example of this would be Planned Parenthood. To the right is the many options of birth control methods that women have. The picture to the left explains how family members are able to communicate wherever they are, whether it be through phone, computers, laptops, or iPads. The picture to the right is the picture of a woman who is pregnant and a woman who is infertile. The woman to the right is called her surrogate. She is able to carry the baby for her, who she will later raise as her own. Technology today has made this possible. However, there are also many challenges to parenting in the 21st century. Today we live in a society characterized by conflicting values and points of views. Influence is a big part of parenting in the 21st century. Parents deal with children being influenced not only by themselves, but from other resources such as schools, peers, television, movies, music, and the internet. This is when homeschool becomes an option for many parents. Although caregiving can increase life satisfaction, stress builds as family members juggle employment, housework, childcare, and parent care. Today, the workforce has become a much larger part in women's lives. And the U.S. does not, at its best ability, support parents and their children, making it harder for parents. This is called structural antinatalism. For example, departments such as social services, financial aid, and education programs are not able to fully help parents and their children in need. This is the reason many women choose to have an abortion. Today's parents are given full responsibility for successfully raising children. However, their authority is often questioned. For example, spanking is looked down upon and could result in losing their children. Another challenge to parenting in the 21st century is pronatalist bias, that is, being socially pressured to have children, which affects many couples. Here is pictured a child imitating their parent. This really displays how children are easily influenced by their parents and watch everything they do. From a very young age, children absorb everything like a sponge, so it is important that parents teach them to their best abilities. At the end of the day, family is very important, and it's a great part of our lives as they are our support system. Some families are big families, and some families only consist of 1 or 2 children. Each person has their own thoughts and views about a family. Thank you.